The world is now more interested than ever in green energy as a result of the obvious effects of climate change. For the long term, we need an energy source that's not driven by fossil fuels and emits very little carbon. Did you know the Sahara Desert is one of the most exposed places on Earth to the sun's rays? The story is that if we could capture all of that energy, we could provide electricity for everyone on Earth. The truth is that we would gather far more power than we could ever use. Forbes claims that 335 square kilometers of solar panels, or around 1.2% of the Sahara Desert, would be sufficient to power the entire world. Today, we will explore more about it. Before we continue, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts about this mega project in the comments below. The Sahara Desert is generally renowned for being the largest hot desert in the world. Yet, it's likely far larger than you even realize. Recognize that it's almost the same size as China. It spans across 10 different countries in 3 different time zones and is completely destroyed by sunlight. A solar farm is typically constructed to minimize environmental impact. However, if one were to be constructed in the Sahara, it might have unintended results. If we laid gigantic solar panels on the desert floor, it would increase regional rainfall by 2-fold and provide around 20% more vegetative cover. A little bit unbelievable, huh? Let me clarify then. Saharan sand's hue is unusually light. This indicates that it frequently reflects a great deal of heat and light back into the air. If we used dark solar panels to cover the sand, more sun would be absorbed as a result, and the temperature of the ground would rise. Warmer air rises to cooler regions of the atmosphere, and there moisture condenses, causing rain to fall. One of the world's most severe climates will appear before you receive a major overhaul. The Sahara Desert is almost nearly along the Tropic of Cancer. This indicates that the sun is nearly straight overhead for the majority of the year. Over the entire desert, clouds rarely form or even exist, so the sun's intense brightness never really interrupted. Therefore, the Sahara is the ideal area on Earth to install solar panels and develop solar energy farms. This raises the question of what would happen if we covered the desert in solar panels? How much energy might we truly create, and how would that affect the environment? In addition to wreaking havoc in other regions of the world, solar panels might transform the dry, hot Sahara into a lush, rainy land. Rainfall in the Amazon region would be reduced by 10 to 30% as a result of the shift of precipitation in the Sahara and surrounding areas. Due to the decreased albedo brought on by PV solar panels, the Sahara would see about the same amount of more rainfall. The Amazon would experience drought-like conditions as a result of the decrease in moisture and precipitation. Solar farms in the desert would encourage the formation of tropical cyclones over the coasts of North America and East Asia, putting the icing on the cake. One of the few organizations considering the generation of Saharan solar energy in the future is Desertec, a German energy firm, which happens to be a shareholder in the solar energy project in Morocco. Based on their analysis and information obtained from the German Aerospace Center, a solar panel array just this small size in the Sahara could power 100 of Germany's power requires, and this large array could power the whole of the European Union, while an array of just the size alone could simply supply all the current electrical requirements of the equivalent of 18 trillion watts. Approximately 350 watts are produced by a normal solar panel. This Earth-powering array would produce all around 51.4 billion solar panels, and it would closely match the US in size. There are just about 4 highways that completely cross the Sahara from north to south. Across the desert, there are vast areas of undeveloped territory without even a single road. Some of these regions, like this pocket of Chad in the northwest, are more than 600 kilometers from the closest road. Desertec is only planning on establishing plants around the Sahara because transporting billions of solar panels to a remote place like this will require building numerous new expensive highways or railroads. Even if desert solar farms didn't have any potentially disastrous side effects, we would still need to find out how to store and move all this electricity. Massive batteries would be needed to store the energy produced throughout the day so that we could keep the power running through the night. A separate battery would be required for each panel in order to maintain a constant output power throughout the day. The total cost of the solar facility would almost double as a result. What about transportation? How could we use a solar farm in the middle of a desert to power the entire planet? Africa is currently falling behind in the creation of solid electricity infrastructure. Power loss occurs to some extent when energy is transported across long distances via power lines up to 22.8%. Furthermore, political unrest in the continent of Africa makes riskier investments like solar farms there. Expecting political unity and economic investment to swiftly bring about such a vision is definitely not achievable. However, there is no reason why a number of distinct projects cannot be set up over a longer time period to meet our energy needs if initiatives like the Noor Ouarzazate solar complex in Morocco continue to produce positive outcomes. Do desert solar farms have a future? It's difficult to keep up a solar farm in the desert. It differs from the management of solar panels in urban areas. The effectiveness of solar panels is impacted by the severe desert environment. On solar panels, sand and dust buildup interfere with their operation. In addition to being extremely hot, the changing temperatures during the day and night subject any solar panel materials to quick thermal cycles. Solar panels won't be able to handle it on a regular basis. The cost of installing and maintaining solar panels on sand will go up. It'll be significantly more expensive than the solar panel installation fee in Perth. As a result, solar panel infrastructure in deserts is more expensive than solar panel prices in Perth. To withstand the extreme environmental conditions of a desert, solar panels utilized there must be more robust and durable. Due to this, the price is more than what solar panels would cost in Perth. In the desert, managing people is too expensive. The majority of Perth's top solar businesses provide 24/7 monitoring and maintenance. In order to maintain panels in deserts, qualified individuals must be present. The cost of their lodging and transportation will also increase. In the desert, consistency is a big problem for renewable energy sources. Despite the fact that deserts are often warm and sunny, climate change makes it impossible to anticipate a steady solar outpour. There's always a chance that the sunshine will stop shining. One cannot wait to be at the mercy of the weather in order to guarantee a steady supply of electricity. To avoid power interruptions in such cases, we will need to store solar energy. They also generate a lot of pollutants when manufacturing. The price of the battery is significantly greater than the price of solar panels in Perth when comparing life duration. The latest trend is batteries. The top solar firms in Perth provide high-end battery storage systems. The possibility of changing the desert's environment is another issue with using solar energy to power it. It measures how much sunshine is reflected off the ground. Local climate is influenced by the heat that's reflected back to the air. Global climate is also impacted by local climate changes. The same principles that apply to paving concrete and asphalt apply to paving solar panels in deserts. The local average temperature will increase as a result. For the project to succeed, the country's shifting governance and financial resources must agree with it. None of these render solar construction in Australia impractical. As a first attempt, we could power a few Australian villages close to deserts with solar energy on a limited scale. Around 8% of Australia's electricity was produced from solar energy in 2019. By 2040, a jump to 25% is anticipated. Are acres of desert land and habitat disruption really necessary in order to generate solar power? We do have the technology to enable our towns and cities to create their own solar energy, no matter how admirable the idea of obtaining massive amounts of energy from desert solar plants may be. The world would achieve great success if this idea were to become a reality, since it would enable us to become less dependent on fossil fuels and progress toward a more sustainable future. We're only beginning to understand the potential consequences of establishing massive solar farms in the world's deserts. Solutions like this may help society transition from fossil energy, but Earth system studies like ours underscore the importance of considering the numerous coupled responses of the atmosphere, oceans, and land surface when examining their benefits and risks. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps you. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell.